What an impressive location this is. So hello again everyone, and welcome to Loch Terra. Now this is an area of Scotland that I've never been to before, but I've always been very interested in coming here. And you can probably see why. The views are really nice, and there's paths on both sides of the loch that take you up to a Munro called Ben Hornsey. Now for tonight, I'm just going to be camping alongside the loch. There's plenty of good spots apparently, and I am actually meeting up with Monty, who is already here. Once again, I've just finished work and I'm just making my way up here. But I've got plenty of time. It's daylight to about 6 PM now. We're well into March. So yeah, with it being 3 PM, I'm just looking forward to getting along the loch and just seeing what the views are like along the way. So anyway guys, time to get on with it and find out where Monty is. Wow, it's extremely boggy now, and this is why I brought my trekking poles, just to make sure the ground's okay in front of me before I take a step, just so I don't end up in knee deep of water. But I finally found Monty, or at least I think I have. It looks like there's 2 Vango tents down there, and I'm aware that once again Monty has taken another Vango tent with him. But what I will say is, this area, it's taken me by surprise. It's absolutely stunning. And I have so many plans for it now based on what I've seen, including a wild camp on some of the hills maybe later on this year. But yeah, it's been a really good walk, and it's not far from the car. If I wasn't filming this, you could probably walk from the car park to where Monty's camped in less than half an hour. But the path that I've been walking on along the way seems to be going up the way now. It doesn't seem like it's going to be going back down. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to walk through the bog, and eventually I'll get down to Monty. So let's go. Well folks, that's me finally arrived and all settled. Tent's up, everything's set up inside, and I can just enjoy the last hour of daylight. Now I have been here a while, probably about an hour since I arrived here, and it's just catching up with Monty, and there's actually a few of us here tonight, so it's actually good meeting some new faces as well. But yeah, the views are just stunning here, just taking in the scenery. It's really nice. And at the moment the weather is really good. The wind has died down, and the rain that I had on the drive up here, since I arrived there's been no rain, and it's really nice. Well folks, as Monty said in his live stream, he's got a new tent, and it's the Vango Starav 200. And first impressions, Monty, it looks like the Nevis, but a better version of it.
It's a Banshee, and it's been at the gym. It's just like the Vango Banshee, but an extra pole.
It's stunning. It's a
really
really nice
like
tent.
the Vango Nevis, it's these single poles that point upwards, but the Vango Banshee's got the 2 arch poles. But this is just the Vango Banshee On steroids with an additional arch pole on the end.
Need to get inside. That looks like a massive tent, by the way.
It looks bigger than the Banshee. I wasn't expecting to be this big, and it's a 2-person
Wow.
tent as well.
It's massive, like, and I don't know what this is.
It's the
Vango.
Vango Helix. What is it called again?
Vango Helix.
I was right.
Just a Vango Helix.
The Vango Helix. It's an interesting tent. It's inner and outer separate. Inner first. But interesting in the wind. I wouldn't really take out the strong winds.
It's a nice tent though.
You can't really get it nice and taut either of these tents because of the grounds. But the downside to that though, in the inside, the inners hitting your head, it's not. What's the word I'm looking for?
There's not much headroom in it.
It's hanging. The
Is it
hangs.
sagging?
It's sagging. Yeah. That's a better word.
Yeah, a lot of sag. A bit like the Wild Country Helm 1, and most Terra Nova tents are a bit like that.
They sag, they hang.
Yeah.
Well, I mean that's a Vango tent. That's a Vango tent, but every Vango tent I've had's never really.
That's what it is.
The inner. What do you call it? My English is not happening today, is it? The inner ceiling hangs, sags. No, this one's fine. It's nice and taut there. No?
Anyway, we'll get inside the tent and have a little look. Well folks, as I said, it's a very, very big tent, and at this angle you might actually see just how long it is. But yeah, Monty, this is a 2-person tent, isn't it? So you've plenty of room for yourself.
It's a nice cosy 2-person tent. I know I like my headroom, but see sometimes you just don't mind just lying in your tent. And see when you want to just lie in your tent all night, especially if it's stormy, you kind of want a low lying tent to give it that nice and cosy feeling.
And it's a very, very good inner. I like the sort of
Double layered.
solid inners.
Double layered inner. That's
So
what I like
should
about the
trap
Vango
a bit of
tents.
feet, and I mean there will be mesh somewhere in there for ventilation, won't there?
We've
Or
got
is
the
it
two
just
doors
either
at the
ends? Yeah.
They get 2 doors at the end, which you can either open up fully,
Aye.
or it's also got partial mesh.
Alright, yeah.
So there's plenty of ventilation in that tent, but this material is breathable. I mean, out of all the
Breathable.
Vango tents that I've ever had, possessed, very breathable material. I've never had condensation issues in any of my Vangos.
And it's a 2 vestibules you said, yeah?
Technically 3 vestibules. You've got this main compartment here, standard size vestibule, nothing spectacular. But you've got 2 little vestibules on either end.
Either end.
Little tarp.
Oh, right, that's what the Vango Nevis is like, it kind of sticks out at either side, so you can fit things down the side like tripods, stuff like that, trekking poles, crampons, ice axe, stuff like that, you know, just kind of out of the way. But I really like this tent, and it's about £200, but you got it for about 140 or near that price mark, eh?
139.99.
There you go. So, I mean, like, what a fantastic tent. Really, really like it. Bit like the Vango Nevis, bit like the Vango Cairngorm as well.
It's more like the Vango Banshee, because the Banshee's got 2
the
arch
hoops.
poles.
Yeah.
Like the Nevis only get 1 arch pole.
But I'm mainly talking about the centre pole. In the middle, it's a bit like the Nevis. But yeah, what a beast of a tent, like. Very, very impressed with it.
I reckon it'd be good in strong winds up to 60 miles per hour.
It looks like it could handle it. But yeah, really, really nice tent, and very, very good. I mean, my first impressions is very good, like, really, really like it. And I'm looking forward to seeing it on the house.
I'm liking it more and more, but I think it's 2.5 kilograms, and I actually need to Google that, but I think it's 2.5 kilograms, and that's again a decent weight.
But the same weight as the Cloud Peak 2 roughly, or the Hilleberg Soulo. Well, that's it. Just turned 6:15 now. And what did you think of Monty's tent? It's a really, really nice tent, that. It's the first time I've ever seen a Starav in person, and I'm really, really impressed by it. Very spacious 2-person tent. But yeah, it's getting dark now. I reckon we've only got about maybe another half an hour of decent daylight, and the good news is the clocks are going forward in 2 weeks' time, so I'm really looking forward to that. And I'm just looking forward to April, because that's when the weather just starts to improve a little bit, at least lower down anyway. Some of the Munros, you'll still see snow until sometimes even June, but at least kind of lower down, it's not too bad. But yeah, I'm thinking about getting dinner on the go right now, and I think we're having a fire tonight as well, so I'm really enjoying this camp. It's been a while since my last one, and I've got a feeling it's going to go really quick, but it's just good to get back out, especially in an area that I've never been to before. The views here are really, really good, better than I thought they would be. That takes up pretty well.
Alright.
Yes.
Just goes up like that once it catches. There you go. There's all 4 of them though. Sorry, that's fine. You're going to need to get the fire organ now.
Press stop. There you go.
Thank you very much.
Well folks, it's 10:15 now and that's been a very quick evening. Really enjoyed it by the fire. I think we were there for about 4 hours and it's just flown past, it really has. Now I've not had anything decent to eat since I got here, so I'm going to stick a wayfaring meal on. Something warm to eat and then probably just chill out, relax in the tent, and I'll be setting my alarm for probably about 6 AM tomorrow. It's daylight for about that now, which is what I like about this time of the year. You're starting to get the lighter mornings, so the camp doesn't seem to drag as much. These 13-14 hour nights where it's just pitch dark around December and January, it's okay to begin with, but you get fed up with it. But I love this time of the year. The camping is really good, just love it. In this area, definitely going to come back here this year at some point, probably towards the end of summer. I'll maybe get Ben Hornsey done, but yeah, just really highly recommend Loch. It's a great place to camp. Well folks, that's my wayfaring meal done, and I've come to the conclusion that spicy sausage and pasta is probably my favourite wayfaring meal now. Very tasty. But yeah, that ends a really good evening. I've really enjoyed it. You'll hear the rain, it's just kind of came out of nowhere because it has been clear skies most of the night. But I do enjoy listening to it in the tent, as long as the tent's up. It's a bit of a nightmare when the rain's on before you get to your camp, but once the tent's up and you're inside, it's really nice listening to it. So anyway guys, I'm going to lie back for another hour, but I'm going to wrap up the video for the evening. So yeah, I'll see you all in the morning. Well, good morning everyone, and I have to say these are the sort of mornings that I like when I'm camping lower down and I'm looking up to the hills and I see all the low cloud on them. But if I was on a hill, these are the sort of mornings that I actually hate, when you wake up in the clag. So quite glad to be camping lower down. But yeah, I opened the tent and the view just across the loch is absolutely stunning. It's really nice, and it's just gone 8 AM and I'm in no rush to pack up. Usually I'm all excited and I want to get all my gear packed away, but yeah, for a change I'm just really enjoying the surrounding area. I just don't want to leave. Just out enjoying the lovely morning views that places like this offer, and I'm really enjoying it. Now everyone else is still inside their tents. I'm usually the first one up in the group. I like my early mornings, especially when the sunlight starts to come up, yeah, before 6 AM. I just love the brighter mornings and I can't wait for summer. But I've got good news, I found my gloves. They were actually inside my sleeping bag. And I've not used that bag since I lost my gloves, or since that trip anyway. So because I had that sleeping bag out when I was packing for this trip, yeah, I found the gloves inside the sleeping bag, so I'm happy about that. And I have 2 pairs of gloves now, which I will take from now on, just in case I ever lose a pair. At least I have a pair to fall back on. But yeah, I'm just in a really good mood. I'm really happy that this camp's went well, and yeah, it's just a really good morning. Well folks, that's me back at this sign again, which means I'm back at the car park, and that means we're at the end of another trip. Now I've really enjoyed myself. This has been a really good camp, and I'll definitely be back here again at some point this year. Now, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. You might want to consider clicking on the like button, maybe even subscribe to the channel. Once again, thanks so much for 3,000 subscribers, it's much appreciated. And yeah, until my next trip, take care. Wow, my nose is running like a tap.